Mindanao is the second largest island at the foot of the Philippine archipelago. It is a predominantly Muslim region. Islam is the oldest documented monotheistic religion in the country, predating Christianity by 300 years when the Spanish colonized the Philippines. The Muslim region known as the Bangsamoro observes local customs such as child marriages that occur between the ages of 9 to 15, often arranged by their parents. Women and girls are expected to remain chaste, obey their elders, and marry within their community. Among the prevalent traditional practices is female genital mutilation or cutting, known locally as pagsunat, pag-Islam, or turi, which is a direct translation of female circumcision. Female genital mutilation or cutting is defined by the World Health Organization as the total or partial removal of the external female genitalia or injury to the female genital organs for non-medical reasons. According to a study conducted by CARE Philippines, 4 out of 5 women have undergone pagsunat in the Bangsamoro region. In Mindanao, there are conflicting beliefs about the acceptability of pagsunat and how it should be observed.
A Muslim from Tawi-Tawi is a very conservative woman po. Nakita niyo naman po sa how I dress, that's how we are as a Muslim.
Tawi-Tawi is the southernmost island along the Sulu Sea in the Philippines. It is home to a diverse and colorful culture that has been preserved for hundreds of years. Tawi-Tawi is inhabited by the Sama and the Tausug, a group of indigenous tribes who are predominantly Muslims. In Tawi-Tawi, female genital cutting or pagsunat is not an obligatory practice but considered sunnah, a part of traditional customs lifted from neighboring Muslim countries of Indonesia and Malaysia. Young girls between the ages of 3 or 4 or until their first menstruation undergo pagsunat. It is a popular practice and is considered a rite of passage for a young girl to be called a true Muslim.
Ganun po yung ritual sa tausug or sa siyamal bilang taga Tawi-Tawi. Kailangan po sinusunat. So yung nagpaanak sa iyo, yun po yung magsusunat sa anak mong babae. Yung part po yun doon po yung sa part na yun po. Tapos magsasalawat siya. Yung salawat po, ito po yung yung mga sinasabi namin or ina-utter namin na word na pag-praise namin sa propeta namin.
Naida Jane Idris works as a secretary for a private company. She is a single parent to 3 sons. Naida was subjected to pagsunat as a young girl.
Kahit po halimbawa tayo yung magko-convert into Muslim, sinusunat din po tayo kahit tayo malaki na. So ganun din po ang proseso, sa part pa rin po at saka magsalawat sila ng Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadun Rasulullah.
Ustads Taha Daranda and his brother Dan Daranda are prominent tribal leaders in their village. In neighboring provinces in Mindanao, it is common to have disagreements among Muslim religious leaders and teachers on the necessity for the practice of pagsunat to continue because of its lack of basis in the Quran. Despite this, it remains a prevalent practice in the Bangsamoro region.
Ang totoong sunat, hindi lang yung ahitan lang yung ari niya. Ahitan yung bulbul, di ba? Tapos yung pang masilang kwan niya doon, daanan pa yun ng kwan. Parang papula-pulahin pa yun. Ganun. Tapos pagkatapos ng pangaralan pa siya. Mula ngayon, ingatan mo yan. Hindi basta-basta mapasukan ng iba. Kung hindi, yung legal na sa iyo talaga.
Yung kasi yung part ng babae, meron din na sensitive na bagay na kailangan alisin. Tinatawag namin na kagisin. Kagisan yun. Yung siya may part ng clitoris. Pag hindi kasi inalis yan, yung parang libog ng babae, libog ng babae hanggang sa magdalaga siya, eh, hindi maalis. Kaya na, makikita natin sa tunay na buhay ngayon, sino bang mas sexy marami? Siguro mga Kristiyano. Sa Islam, sa Muslim, meron pero kunti na lang. Yung nagiging malibog sa mga Muslim ngayon, yung hindi na nagsunod.
In Tawi-Tawi, the practice of pagsunat includes a bathing ritual called pagpaygo, where a young child is asked to bathe or is assisted by a panday or her mother. The panday prays over the young girl and utters local incantations in preparation for pagsunat as she washes her. When the young girl is clean, a small knife is used by the panday to scrape or tap on the clitoris 3 times. Afterwards, cotton dipped in alcohol is used to wipe the vaginal area. Other symbolic materials such as a candle, a malong or local skirt, a hen, oil, and rice are also part of the ritual.
Ka natuwigin ina niya, iwan sin bata-bata payuan ko na, hitungod na yung manok. Dito na hatungod niya. Pag ubos siya ito magpayuha bata-bata, badyoan na sin ina niya, ampa kami sumod pa kwarto. Pag sud na mo pala, nadira ko na yung panyap ko, laring ko in baby oil ko.
When Panday Hajarati was young, she used to help her grandmother perform pagsunat on other girls like her. Panday Hajarati's grandmother wrote a manual on the proper ways to carry out pagsunat. Panday Hajarati inherited the manual and has used this as a basis to practice pagsunat today.
Maghiga-higa na siya, ganyan na yung bata. Si kutsilyo, pati koton. Tapos magganyan-ganyan ka. Ano yung koton? Kuha na naman, kagis-kagis yan yun amin. Kuha niya yan to, kunti-kunti lang, hindi yan magdugo. Natapos yung koton, hitago yung dalawa, yung isa, hilibing sa lupa. Ang kanya to hitanom, pang siya lumaggo, mabudyang siya, danon siya sinta o pangasawahon mon pabay, di siya panawan biaway bidda. Kuanon siya sinta umon pabay, si maas niya. Panahon siya pangasawahon.
The procedure falls under WHO's Type 1 and Type 4 of FGM. Type 1, as practiced in Bangsamoro, involves the partial cutting and removal of the clitoris and/or prepuce. Type 4, as practiced in Bangsamoro, involves pricking and scraping of the female genitalia. Pagsunat does not offer any health benefits, can result in pain, trauma, and health and sexual complications.
Kung ang babae hindi siya nasunat, parang alanganin ng tao kumain siya niluluto niya. Ako, kung alam ko hindi siya nasunat, babae, hindi ko kakain ng niluluto niya.
Engineer Yusuf Asangi is married with 9 children. His Muslim wife has undergone pagsunat and made sure all of his daughters would too. Engineer Yusuf says he has had affairs with 2 Christian women. Before any sexual relations, he convinced them to undergo pagsunat for his benefit and religious beliefs. A woman who has not undergone pagsunat to a Muslim man in Tawi-Tawi can be considered unclean and a bearer of misfortune.
Siyempre, ang Christian, iba man sa Muslim. So, di man nabanggit ang ganun. Sabi ko, kung magustuhan mo kita, magustuhan mo ako, payag ka sa ng Muslim. O, siyempre, payag, gagawin. Doon nagkaroon na parang understanding, kung gusto mo ako, gusto kita, kailangan masunat ka bago kita pakawinan.
Islam is a way of life. So, sakop niya na lahat. Ngayon, tungkol sa sunnat, so, sa babae, ganoon, para in case of the sexual intercourse, hindi yung libog nila, naayon na lang sa foreplay. Kaya ang mag-asawa, sa panahon na pag nagniig sila, mayroon pa yung babasahin. Kaya may tinatawag dito na pag walang basbas, wala kang dasal, pasok agad. Maaring yung anak, nagiging supling nila, demonyo na. Lahat ng ginagawa ng sangkatauhan dapat mabigkas yung Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Kasi ang sunnah kasi is legal ways of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yung lahat ng ginagawa niya, itinuturo sa bawat Muslim, hindi lang sa lalaki, maging sa babae. At isa na roon ang pagsunnat. Kaya nga, sinabi siya sunnat, kinuha doon sa salitang sunnah.
Yan ang ibig sabihin.
Ibig sabihin ng sunnat is optional. Optional. If you do it, you have the reward. Pag hindi mo ginawa, okay lang.
Pero ano bang maganda? May reward ka o wala?
Sheikh Bilgadel Albani studied Islam for over 30 years in Saudi Arabia. He argues that pagsunat is not part of Islam but is rather a cultural practice that should be discouraged. Sheikh is an honorific title in the Arabic language. It is commonly designated to a chief of a tribe, royal family member, or a Muslim religious scholar.
It is not mentioned in the Quran nor in the Sunnah. Ang tunay ng katuruan ng Islam ay no such yung practice. Quran is the best interpretation. Ito ay galing kay Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anything that he said or we see it by his action, then we have to follow. Otherwise, if it is a practices or a cultural practices in the community, it should be discouraged. Sa lalaki, okay, yung sinatawag nila mga circumcision, it was practiced even during the time of the prophets. Like for the case of Prophet Abraham alayhis salam, in his case, he was circumcised at the age of 120. So, it is a practice of the prophet.
Sheikh Bilgadel believes since pagsunat is not found in the Quran or mentioned in the Hadith, a collection of recorded sayings and traditions of the Prophet Muhammad, the prevalent purification ritual on young girls should not be encouraged in Tawi-Tawi and the rest of Mindanao.
Kahit nga yung mga anak ko, I have 8 children or born in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh. So, 5 of them boys and 3 girls. So sa Saudi Arabia kasi they are aware of the Islamic duties, even with the doctors and the nurses. Pag once na nakalagay sa inyong yung biodata sa mga anak o sa parents that they are Muslim, automatically ginagawa na nila yung sa paggawa ng circumcision. Pero sa babae, hindi nila ginagawa.
The practice of pagsunat in Tawi-Tawi is met with conflicting opinions between local religious leaders and the community. Those who oppose the practice are aware that pagsunat is not written in the Quran and should be discouraged. They believe that pagsunat is more of a continuance of a cultural tradition and not part of Islamic law. Others consider it a requirement of the faith. Possibly because the Philippines' population is majority Christian and pagsunat is confined to Muslim regions, there are no existing laws opposing pagsunat. Despite popular beliefs, pag-Islam or female genital mutilation is not sanctioned by Islam. It is not mentioned in the religious texts of the Quran. Moreover, many religious leaders think this tradition should end. Other communities in Bangsamoro have replaced female genital cutting with rituals that do not inflict harm, such as the bathing ritual called Pumbubuan of Maguindanao.